So, Stranger Things has wrapped up season 5. Actually, the series as a whole is over. This was a series that my wife and I started watching when we were dating. It was actually one of the first things that kind of brought us together. And then as we've continued to watch the show, and we watched it with friends, built a whole friend group off of just watching the show. And so I have some very fond, close kind of memories with this show and watching it wrap up. You know, there's a lot of people who have different opinions about the way the show was handled, especially in this last season. There's people who even have opinions about, you know, Christians watching it in general. And I do have a video about this. It's about should Christians watch horror movies. I think this is kind of along that same thriller 80s slasher kind of thing. Go back and watch that video if you want to hear kind of my thoughts on it. I'm not going to do that here. That's actually not what I'm doing in this video. What I am kind of breaking down in this video, we're going to watch a compilation that somebody made. I thought it was really cool the way they were able to take scenes from the show, compile it with a scene from season 5 from the finale, and then bring it together, because I do think just being a pastor, I'm always viewing things through the lens of like, all right, if this is going to be as culturally relevant as it is, how can I see things to draw either in scripture or to, relate back to God or these kind of things. And so I'm always thinking of that, even with shows where you probably wouldn't be thinking of that in the slightest. And so there's this one scene with Henry, and we're about to go into spoilers. I'm going to try to grab I'll put it in the caption or the title or something like that, because if you haven't seen episode 8, I think it is, the finale, then you need to click off this video right now. But let's be real, it's been a few days. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? And so spoilers, I'm going to probably put a tag or something in the corner of the video as well, so that way you'll know, like, hey, shoot, I shouldn't be watching this. But in the show, we're going to go into spoilers now. In the show, Henry won't go into one of his memories. Again, if you watched it, it'll make sense. If you're not, then read up. And he won't go into one of the memories because it's too kind of traumatic for him. Well, he finally makes it in the finale to this memory. And you kind of uncover a little bit of the backstory of why he kind of became what he became, because he was initially just a human. It seemed like, hey man, there's this, he's kind of like everybody else, and now he's this other dimensional kind of being. He's got all these powers and all these things, and so what happened to Henry has kind of been the question in the series. Did it give a full answer? Absolutely not, but you got more of it. And as we watch this, I'm going to watch this with you guys, and then we're going to come back on the end of it because it'll make a lot more sense once we finish it. So let's go ahead and see it. Hopefully it's not going to get copyrighted, not going to get taken down. Who knows? It might. But if that's the case, then I'll see you on the flip side of this. We'll do an edited version without it. And so we'll see you on the flip side of this. But anyway, check it out. Let's do it. Here we go. So there's Henry, small Henry. There was a guy,
have to be afraid of them,
a scientist that was
the
there.
most important of all predators.
You were just a kid.
He had a briefcase of something that he was holding, that rock, and that's actually what ends up kind of turning him in this way. And so Will is trying to talk to him and be like, you don't have to do this. You know, there's still room for you to change. There's still space for you to change. You were a victim of this, all this stuff. So that's what the context of this clip is. I'm sorry that I didn't give you that.
A kid like me. It was never you. Leave me alone.
Get out.
I said leave me alone. You're just like me, Henry. A vessel.
And a newfound sense of purpose.
But you can resist it.
It's like he only sees the darkness in us.
And you will break.
The man who did this,
This was an evil.
pure evil.
I asked you to wait. Never go into the woods.
Don't let it win, Henry, please. Don't let it win.
So here you go. So sorry for stopping it, but like, yeah, you have this this pleading of like, no, there's a way for you to kind of break out of this. There's a pathway out of this. And he's obviously been kind of corrupted by this power and by this stuff, and it's allowed him to do the things that he's doing, these atrocious things that he's doing. Let's see what kind of the decision that he ends up making, though.
No,
He did not make me into this.
it showed me the truth. Seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks. It showed me that this world is broken. Wake up, eat, work, sleep, reproduce, and die. Man is broken.
I believed you had sent me to my death.
I could make my own rules.
Become the predator I was always born to be.
A predator, but for good. I could have resisted it. I chose to join it.
So here we are. And if you are paying attention to scripture, and I'm going to let this, like, you pretty much get the idea. If you are a Christian and you follow this stuff, maybe you're like me, you watch these shows and you kind of view it through a biblical lens. You already saw this stuff like I did. But in that speech, and even the Rock kind of corrupting his humanity and corrupting the way he was before, when I'm watching this, one, it's super powerful because you spent time with the characters and you've uncovered his backstory more and more and more and more and more. And you've been able to see you spend time with these characters. So from a narrative level, there's already a level of investment. But then as I'm looking at this Rock corrupting him, literally corrupting him, and then I see that he makes that recognition, and he says it in the monologue. He says, "The world is broken. Man is broken. It revealed these things to me." I'm watching this and I'm going, this is such a parallel to Genesis chapter 3, right? When Adam and Eve are in the garden, there's the promise of knowledge, that they will know all things good and evil, and that they'll be like God themselves. That's what Genesis 3 says. That's the promise from Satan to Adam and Eve. Now, is humanity perfect? So no, Henry's not perfect in his humanity according to a Christian framework, all that stuff. But there's a parallel between his humanity being corrupted by this thing that has promised him a higher level of knowledge or a greater power or all of these things that has been corrupted in the same way that Adam and Eve were corrupted from the perfect creation that God had created them to be. So I'm watching this and I'm hearing this and I'm seeing this scene play out, and it was like, this is a perfect, whether it was intentional or not, this is a perfect metaphor, analogy to what sin does. And he ends up in the video and in the story, he ends up saying, no, I'm going to partner with this. This is now a decision that I am making. That I'm choosing to join it. I could have resisted it, but I'm not. And how many people make that same decision is one of the things that I'm thinking. I'm not trying to get stupid pastoral on people, but when you watch videos like this, or when you see things through that lens, and maybe you haven't, maybe this is a new revelation to you. When I saw this was one of the things that made me kind of lean in even more, because I can make that parallel to scripture and see that physical Rock changing who he is, and then him looking at that and saying, no, I actually like this. Now, is he making the right decision? Absolutely not, right? We know that, and it ends up costing him his life, which scripture says the wages of sin is death. But in that speech, in that scene, what is his name? Jamie Campbell Bower is the actor, and I thought he did an incredible job because he's playing multiple characters. Even though they're the same person, he's playing multiple facets of the character, and I thought that was amazing. But that scene in particular, that monologue of the world is broken, man is broken, I'm here to fix it, I've gained this new knowledge, man, all of this stuff parallels Genesis chapter 3, and it really highlights sin. And so if you're a Christian watching this, you should be able to pick up on that stuff, and if you haven't, then welcome to the club. You can pick up on it now and tell your friends and do all that. But when I was watching it, I was like, man, this is such a perfect representation of what sin can do. And if somebody has struggled to see how sin, when they read scripture or they read the Bible and they look at this stuff and they're like, I don't understand how this could have done that. Well, here's a perfect example. Go back and watch Stranger Things season 5, watch this episode, watch this monologue, and you can see how sin corrupts and destroys people and ultimately leads them to their death. And so I know that might be just a little bit of a nerd out, a little bit maybe I'm reaching. I don't think I am, but I thought that was a very, very cool parallel in Stranger Things as we were closing it out, watching the end. Great show. But then seeing this biblical connection, I'm like, all right, that makes it even cooler for me. Somebody who nerds out and somebody who sees this as well. So let me know your thoughts on this. Are you a fan of Stranger Things? Are you trying to avoid it? Is that something that maybe you have a conviction about? And let me know if you picked up on some of these same things too. Are there other biblical parallels? I need to go back and watch the show and see. I'm sure that there are, but man, just a really interesting monologue, really interesting connection as I was watching the finale of Stranger Things season 5. And so thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.